All right, guys, we're back with another video, and I think this video is pretty important given the time of year. So we are in the marina here. It just cracked April this weekend, and everybody is ready to get out there and chase some spring brown trout. So this video, we're going to go over the 3 baits that I think you need in your tackle box if you're going to target Lake Ontario brown trout. So we're going to start off with the bait that I know is readily available. You can find it at FishUSA, and we recently did a video on when we use this bait on Lake Ontario. That first bait is the Brad's Thin Fish. Okay, I believe the size of this body or the shape of this body and the fact that it's got very loud rattles helps us when we're faced with very dirty water conditions where the fish are they're in runoff from a major river or a creek after a really heavy rain. You pull this through there, you will get chewed. Disclaimer, this thing will run 10 to 12 feet down, so you do not want to be running this on the beach. So if you're in that 12 to 15, 20 foot range, you can run this bait. If you want to shorten it up, you could probably run it a lot shallower, but this bait will dive, but it'll also catch you some fish. A bait that I think is pretty well known through my fishing reports that we use a lot during brown trout season is going to be the Bay Rat line of stick baits. So there's 3 different sizes. We've got a long shallow, okay? We've got the short shallow, and then we have what's called as an S3. And you can see that has a much smaller bill. So when are we using these? You know, first thing in the morning, I'm putting a side of short shallows out. I'm putting a side of S3s out. The S3 is going to be on the beach side. We're going to run these and we're going to figure out which action they want to eat throughout the day. This short shallow will run down to 8 feet on a 100-foot lead with 15-pound test. This S3, it'll get down 3-4 feet maybe on that same lead. So when you do have to get in there and chase that colored water on the beach from the waves rolling in, this S3 really can play a big role. Probably 70% of the time, we're running the short shallow. Now, the long shallow. We throw this in the mix when we have colored water. We want more water to move from the body and the size of this bait. We also tend to throw this out late morning when we kind of slide out into that maybe 15 to 20 foot depth, and we're looking to see if we can hook into a early spring salmon. I feel like the bigger profile bait makes it worth it for that salmon to come up and smash it, and so that's when we start to deploy some of those long shallows. Now, the third bait that I think is a must-have in your brown trout tackle box for Lake Ontario is going to be the Smithwick Rogue. These are the floating versions. These baits do not seem to dive very far. I would say 4 to 5, maybe 6 foot, but not much more than 5 foot. On a 100-foot lead with 15-pound test is what we troll with for brown trout here in the Rochester Basin. As you can see, they come in 2 different sizes, multiple colors, if you can find them. I think the standard size is still available. This small one, good luck finding them. But if you can, you want to hoard them. These are 2 great baits, and when they stop eating the bay rats, you put these things on, and I'm telling you, the brown trout get fired back up again. I don't know if it's just the action that fires them up or triggers them, but between these and the bay rats, I mean, those are the 2 baits that probably do 99% of the damage when we're out there trolling brown trout in the spring. So that's what I got, and that's what I feel are the top 3 baits that you need to have in your tackle box if you want to fish spring browns on Lake Ontario.